There was a report out last week, this report, and I'm happy to table that, on university class sizes, that among many of the, alarming findings, it also found that the proportion of tutorials with 30 or more students has more than doubled now. I just want to check first if someone at the table has seen and read this report.
Yes.
You have, excellent. So, Minister, I guess the question is for you. I don't know if you've seen this report, but there is nothing that is directing ATEC to actually look at class sizes and student learning conditions. Is there?
The department is going to assist, Senator.
Sure, Senator. There are obligations in the threshold standards regarding quality of learning environment. Obligation. So that's an obligation providers have on their registration. TECSA might be able to provide more detail.
Yeah, I'm asking more about ATEC's role. There was nothing in the, maybe it's a question for the Minister, there was nothing in the letter of expectations by the Education Minister which actually expresses any concern about class sizes which are ballooning.
I don't think class sizes send out. Teaching and learning, yes, and at risk of bringing the Commissioner.
Yeah, sorry, I had there's a question for you as well there, Commissioner. Is there anything in particular that the Commission is doing on kind of these alarming findings on class sizes?
Thank you, Senator. At the moment, Senator, our initial focus in this interim phase in relation to, if you like, the quality of teaching, which I think is really to the heart of your question. If class sizes and infrastructure is not adequate to provide the sort of learning environment students need, that's a serious concern for universities to address. Our first and initial engagement on this is through enhancing the professional practice of teaching in Australia's universities. This was an instruction from the Minister to the ATEC to take up. We've done some intensive work. So what we're focused on is how can we engage with the sector about how they measure the quality of teaching, how do they benchmark the quality of teaching, and how can we work with them as they seek to improve the quality of teaching. For example, what measures might they be using that we can continue to monitor? And, of course, as I mentioned earlier, this is part of our interim statement of strategic priorities. It's one of the performance domains that we've put into the mission-based compact. Every university is responding to that now, both Table A and Table B. That's going to give us, I think, a very comprehensive view, sort of baseline view of teaching and learning quality, teaching quality, and from there we'll go forward in the compact process to negotiate with universities their targets to improve. That's stage one. I think you've touched on the facilities and the concerns. That would be a concern in terms of student experience for the ATEC, and I'm sure in future compact negotiations we'd engage with universities about that.
Yeah, I guess there's an issue with that, because when these things become apparent, you can't leave it. It is obviously massively going to impact, and this is not new. The survey is new, but the class sizes issue is not new. And that, of course, impacts the quality of teaching, and it impacts the quality of learning. So what mechanisms do you have in place to deal with urgent issues? Like, yes, sure, you have a plan, but surely there's flexibility to be able to deal with urgent issues like that. Are you going to do any data collection yourself? Because it is a pretty major issue, the explosion of class sizes.
It is, Senator. It is good to see students back on campus, I must say, and that's, sure. I think that has surprised some universities after the post-COVID, post-pandemic challenge when we had a lot
got rid of thousands of staff, I guess.
But in an environment where students weren't coming on campus in the same numbers. So in one way, I think this is an initial response with universities we'll have to meet. But the primary way in which the ATEC, in my view, will be supporting universities to address a whole raft of issues related to teaching is to move the sector to fully funded. Because it's only when you can fully fund the sector that they'll have the resources they need to support high-quality teaching. And the ATEC will have, within our performance domains, we'll be looking at the quality of their teaching and how they're improving it, how they're measuring it, and we'll be equally moving to increase the full funding of universities to have the resources they need to address those problems.
Well, hear to that, fully funding the university sector through public funding. Thanks very much. Thanks, Chair.
Senator Faruqi. Senator Bassick will have the...
Authorised by Jay McCall, Australian Greens, Canberra.